While the smartphone market has more or less taken away most of the market share of point-and-shoot cameras, there is a good reason why they still exist. From offering better battery life to being able to zoom, features like these make this type of camera stand above the average smartphone. There are just a handful of camera brands left, and that is because since the advent of digital imaging, these companies have continued to push the boundaries of what was possible. Popular camera brands like Canon, Nikon, Sony and even Fuji continue to create cameras with impressive features like super zoom lenses, large sensors and even raw capture, just so you're always able to take the best shot possible. The premium point-and-shoot camera category isn't about expensive cameras, but also about specifications and features that set them apart from the competition. From large sensors to fast lenses, this is the category where you'll find the best of the best. Although the prices of the products mentioned in the list given below have been updated as of the 13th of May 2022, the list itself may have changed since it was last published due to the launch of new products in the market since then. The first product on our list is Canon POWERSHOT G7X3. The Canon POWERSHOT G7X Mark III comes with a 20.1 megapixel 1-inch CMOS sensor. The camera is well equipped with optical image stabilization of the lens shift type and can shoot in 14-bit color depth, which means that you can capture a lot of color data in your photos. The camera can shoot in JPEG and RAW and can zoom up to 4.2 times optically. It comes with two focus ranges, normal, which works at a range of 5 cm to infinity on wide and 40 cm to infinity on telephoto, and dedicated macro mode, which works at a range of 5 cm to 50 cm on wide and 1.5 meters to 20 meters in telephoto. All this basically translates to you having the ability to get really close to the subject without losing focus. The camera has a maximum aperture of f1.8, which will mean better low light performance and great bokeh. The POWERSHOT G7 III has an ISO sensitivity range of ISO 100 to ISO 12800 and a shutter speed range of 125,600th of a second to 30 seconds. In terms of video performance, the camera can shoot at a resolution of 4K 30 fps, 1080p 60 fps and 720p 60 fps. The video runtime though is limited to 10 minutes, 7 minutes 30 seconds and 30 minutes for 4K, 1080p and 720p respectively. All in all, this is mainly a digital camera for photography which can be used for video in a pinch. In conclusion, this camera is a value proposition for people who want to upgrade from smartphone photography. For casual enthusiasts and even for professionals is a secondary or tertiary camera. At 55,995 Indian rupees, the Canon POWERSHOT G7X3 is one of the best digital cameras that you can get for the lowest price in India. The second product is Sony RX10IV. The Sony RX10IV comes with a 20.1 megapixel 1-inch CMOS sensor which is optically stabilized. The RX10IV features a focal length range of 8.8 to 220 mm and the camera can zoom up to 25 times optically. When it comes to the aperture, you get a minimum aperture of f16 and a maximum aperture of f2.4 to 4 depending on the focal length. In terms of ISO, the camera can go from ISO 100 till ISO 12800 in the normal mode, and if you do decide to extend the range, the camera can do ISO 64 to ISO 12800. The camera has two shutters, a mechanical shutter and an electronic shutter. The mechanical shutter has a speed range of 1/2000th to 4 seconds and the electronic shutter can do 1/32,000th to 4 seconds. The focus range is 3 cm to infinity in the wide and 72 cm to infinity in the telephoto lens, which basically means that the camera will perform equally well in close-up macro shots and zoomed-out landscape shots. In the video department, the camera can shoot at a maximum resolution of UHD 4K at 30 fps, and when it comes to 1080p footage, the camera takes the cake, featuring a whopping 1000 fps frame rate for super slow motion footage. It can also do 720p at 60 fps. There is one caveat though, which is that you can only shoot for up to 29 minutes at one stretch. This digital camera's price in India is 131,490 rupees. The next product is FUJIFILM X100V. The FUJIFILM X100V comes with a 23.5mm x 15.6mm APS-C X-Trans CMOS 4 with primary color filter. The default aspect ratio of this camera is 3:2 and can shoot photos in either JPEG or RAW formats. Out of all the other features, the highlight feature of the X100V is the new sensor and processor. It features a premium exterior with its top and bottom plates being milled from single pieces of aluminium. It also comes with a new 23mm f2 lens, which puts it in that sweet spot where it can be used as both a portrait shooter and wide shooter with great results. The hybrid viewfinder on the camera has a 3.69 million OLED display and offers a frame coverage of 95%. It also has a combination of physical dials to control the modes quickly while shooting, and it also has a touchscreen which makes going in depth into the menus and settings a breeze. We also get fast and precise face and eye detection to get tack-sharp focus thanks to the X processor 4 quad-core processor, which also ensures the quick processing of images. When it comes to the video prowess of the by 100 volts, we get not only 4K at 30 fps and 1080 at 120 fps, but we also get FUJIFILM's advanced film simulations that leverage the 10-bit 4:2:2 videos for excellent cinematic color reproduction. The next product in our list is Sony ZV-1. The Sony ZV-1 comes with a 20.1 megapixel 1-inch CMOS sensor and can stabilize images digitally as well as optically. With a focal length of 9.4 to 25.7 mm, it's best used in medium to close-ranged shots. It can zoom 2.7 times optically and has a maximum aperture of f1.8 to 2.8 and a minimum aperture of f11. This means that the camera can perform decently in both low light as well as well-lit conditions. Although it can take decent photos, this camera is mainly geared toward video making. It can record video in UHD 4K resolution at 30 fps and Full HD 1080p at 120 fps, and unlike other cameras in this price range, the recording is not capped with a time limit. The best thing about this camera is that you will get an articulating touchscreen LCD viewfinder, and the camera can live stream its capture directly to streaming services like YouTube or Twitch. All in all, this camera is geared towards influencers and vloggers who want a compact camera that packs a punch and gives great video footage. The next product is Panasonic LUMIX DMCF-Z2500GA. The Panasonic LUMIX DMCF-Z2500GA comes with a 20.1 megapixel 1-inch MOS sensor which can stabilize images digitally as well as optically with 5-axis stabilization. The focal length of the camera is 8.8 to 176 mm and it offers an optical zoom of up to 20x. This means that the camera will produce decent shots in both close-up and landscape photos. The camera has a maximum aperture of f2.8 to 4.5 and a minimum aperture of f11. There are two focus ranges available: normal, where the range is 30 cm to infinity, and wide mode with a range of 100 cm to infinity in telephoto, and the macro mode where the range 3 cm to infinity. This means that the camera can get pretty close to the subject without losing focus. In the ISO department, the camera has a minimum ISO of 125 and a maximum ISO of 12,800, and if you wish to extend its range, it can go from ISO 80 to ISO 25,600. With the mechanical shutter you get a shutter speed of 1/4000th to 60 seconds, and with the electronic shutter we get shutter speeds of 1/16,000th to 1 second. In the video department, the camera can shoot at a maximum resolution of 4K at 30 fps and can shoot in AVC HD, MOV or MP4 formats. All in all, this is a jack-of-all-trades camera which will be suitable for almost everyone. Do you think this list makes sense? Leave a comment for us. You can find the product link in the video description. Remember to like and subscribe to the channel to keep up with the latest reviews.